building in Windenburg, and I'm doing another little witchy cottage. I slowed down the video a little bit just so that it's easier to see, easier on the eye. I spoke about that in last week's video. I decided to slow it down a little bit more and just cut out some of the like roof piece flickering because I realized that was something that bothered me, and so I figured that I kind of would like to create videos where I also would enjoy watching them, and I realized that that's one aspect of it that I personally didn't enjoy seeing. And so I changed a little bit of what I'm doing. I'm setting the camera a little bit more. It's gonna take some time to get naturally used to um, not moving the camera around as much. And I know that this house, the roofing looks a little bit strange. You're probably wondering what I'm thinking, and I also was wondering that the entire time. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. It changes right around here because I realized that I couldn't blend those two roof pieces in together. And I guess if from the side, it could look kind of like a little whimsical build where like things are a little strange. But I figured maybe it was too much, and I thought that maybe I was just like I was trying too hard to make that shape work when it clearly wasn't. Because like the tiered roofing just it was throwing me off. I don't know. The fact that it couldn't blend together was throwing me off, so I just changed it and made it like one big rectangle and the roof just be very steep. I had a reference picture for the shape of this, and I also have a reference picture for kind of like the theme that I was going for originally, because this is not the build that I was gonna post. I had another one, and then I realized that it didn't really have a lot of personality. I didn't really like it that much, and so I gave up and I abandoned it like halfway through the interior, so I could still probably post it as a picture or something. But yeah, it wasn't like up to what I would like my builds to be, and so I did this instead. And so I'll pull up the first reference picture, which is yeah, I'll just pull it up. Here it is. You could probably see now what I was trying to do with the roof, because this was like a very steep roof, and that's not really something that you could achieve easily in the game. There are some like rooms that are buried in the roof a little bit, and I thought originally the tiered roof would give the illusion that I was going for. It didn't work. So I technically have like two tiers. There is the one down like on the bottom floor, and then there's the top one instead of the three. And I'm placing ivy pieces around because the second reference picture that I'll pull up in a second reminded me of pumpkins climbing up ivy. And so that's kind of what inspired this entire build and the build before. So here's the pumpkins. Let me pull up the picture. Here it is. It is like orangey pinkish roses, but in my head when I was scrolling on Pinterest and I had seen this picture, it looked like giant pumpkins, and so I was, like, so focused on making a build like this. So my original, build that I was going to post this week instead of this one kind of looked more like that reference picture I just showed. I'll have both of them in the description with credits and stuff, so if you wanna see the pictures larger or if you would like to use them as reference pictures, they can be found there. But yeah, the original build I did was one floor, and I think that's what was throwing me off. I felt like I needed to build something that had a lot of height to it, and this kind of achieved that. And like you say, I'm adding another tower to create more height and stuff, and you could barely really see it. It more so acts just like as a little point in the back of the build and stuff. But yeah, I did slow it down to like 3 times speed, just so that I don't have to edit out a lot of the turns, because editing all the turns down takes a long time, and it was extremely stressful and time consuming. And I think this way is a little bit more natural, a little bit better. I think that it is easier to also kind of see the build and follow along with what's going on. It'll take me some time to get used to talking with this sort of speed. um I think one thing that has like made me focus on having shorter videos instead of like slower ones is that I think that no one's gonna want to hear me talk for like a little bit longer, but I think that I need to get over that. I think that's just like an insecurity that I need to get over. Because there'll be people who will be willing to watch and who would like to watch. But yeah, this part that I'm doing, I have to end up deleting it because it continued to like darken in shadows. Some of it got deleted, and yeah, you could see here that it's like something's happening. It's like getting buried in the roof and the lighting is being weird. And so I fixed this like multiple times throughout the building process. And while I was fixing it, I was like, Megan, you know that you're just gonna end up deleting that, right? And I was like, yeah, I definitely do talk to myself while I'm building. I do some very basic terrain for this build. I do like a couple little ponds and stuff, and that's pretty much it. I didn't really raise up any terrain. I do my standard rocks, and I've been really liking these rocks. I think they're from Cats and Dogs. They just like they fit onto slopes a lot nicer than some of the other rocks. Like you could like fight with them less. So if you're like a console builder or if you don't use mods in general, so like you can't use tool mod or you don't want to use tool mod, the Cats and Dogs rock moves a lot easier than any of the other rocks that I've tried. It's just very smooth and I feel like I have more control over it. I don't know if maybe like that's just the case with a lot of rocks, but I just haven't used a bunch, or I rely heavily on tool to have not noticed. But for some reason, those rocks just feel so much better placing than anything else. And I'm making like a fake sort of window box area on the side. I did this in my 8 sim family home that I released a couple weeks ago. I kind of like it. I think it adds a little bit extra detail on the side, kind of like how I have that room to the left side of the build that hangs off. It felt like that, but without having to add a completely like other roof piece and a whole wall and stuff. You could see that those roof pieces are just bugging out constantly. And it's a shame that I deleted them because I do think that they add like a cute little element to it for pictures and stuff. But felt like if I upload it to the gallery, half of them are probably going to be deleted anyway. And then people are just going to have to delete the rest regardless. And this is a non-pack limited build, so I just use whatever packs I felt like. You could see a better breakdown on the gallery, which is also my description. This is another family home. I'm getting better at naturally building houses with more bedrooms now, because normally my like houses have 1 to 2 bedrooms, and this one and the one that I kind of scrapped before have 3 to 4 bedrooms, which is not something that used to be natural for me. I think doing that giant cottage that fits 8 Sims with like 6 bedrooms made it a little bit easier for me to understand how much space is needed for bedrooms. And so I can more naturally build a house that is able to have that amount of space. But now it's like a curse because I've been like thinking that I'm like, okay, I want to give myself a little bit of a break. And so I'm gonna do a little tiny house for next week's video. And then I started building it and it is larger than expected. I think that one is 3 bedrooms. I did finish it though. The editing process is what I was worried about. But I'm trying to get ahead of my videos a little bit just so that I could kind of like feel a lot more calm because I think that like because I really like posting once a week. And as I'm changing some things up and I'm slowing down my videos a little bit, I lost my thought. Okay. I had to stop, but I had to like listen back to what I was saying. It was pretty much just that I have been just like so stressed and changing the way I'm editing is adding to that stress. And so I'm just trying to get ahead of my builds so that I could kind of like feel a little bit calmer about things. And so I do have 2 videos pretty much recorded now. One of them is a collab video That won't be out until October. Um, I also have plans to finally do my own sort of save file. It's going to be very small. It's only going to be Glimmerbrook. But I'm going to make families and like lore and stuff for the like world and stuff. So I'm really excited for that. And so I'm trying to catch up on some of the things that I still have to do before then so that I could kind of completely focus all of my attention on that. So I have 2 collab builds that I need to finish, and like then I have to edit a couple of videos, but then I'll be able to like fully focus my attention on that, and I'm really excited for it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be like maybe like a month's worth of videos. So I'll have like at least 6 slots or something because I'm gonna build for each of the lots in Glimmerbrook as well as the like magic world lot. I'm gonna turn that into a magic school. And so there's a lot. There's a lot that I want to do. There's a lot of reels and like shorts that I want to do. My brain can't keep up. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I've been struggling a little bit with like focusing and just like headaches and stuff. I haven't been streaming very much at all. Like I was streaming a couple times a week, and now I guess I'm lucky if I stream once a week. I really like streaming though. I really like connecting with everybody and like hanging out for like a few hours, but like it's just like something that's not possible sometimes for me, which is unfortunate because I would really like to be able to be someone who can just like um go live and it's not like that much brain power, but unfortunately it is. And so I unfortunately can't be like as active as I would like to on there. And I also don't want YouTube to like also start like slacking off on because I really enjoy it and I'm having a lot of fun. And I know that like I'm the type of person that if I stop something for like even just a little bit, it's really hard to start back up again because I get frozen and I like can't figure out how to start again. And so every time I've ever taken a break from YouTube, it's always just been a week. And um I almost considered that, but I feel like instead I managed to get ahead a little bit, and so I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. And here's the floor plan of my builds. I did this floor plan twice because the first time I noticed that the dust effects cause like a lot of just like sparkles and sped up. It's a lot of sparkles and it looked irritating. And so I just like went back in and I redid the whole floor plan. So you could see that there were some wallpapers that already had outlines. So I decided to leave them as a guide so it was easier for me to kind of just show the floor plan. I considered not adding it in at all, but I think that people like seeing the floor plan, and I think that it being slowed down makes it a lot easier to follow, and like people can definitely like take inspiration from it and like yeah, that's pretty much it. Also for this part and for the interior, I did speed it up a little bit more, so this one's like 3.5 instead of 3. I'll be experimenting with like the speed and stuff. Um, Sometimes it's like it takes releasing it and then looking back at it and like with fresh eyes to really be able to tell like what I want to change. And so this one, the exterior might have been a little bit too slow. I'll definitely like figure it out as I go. Nothing is ever completely permanent. um, but yeah, this is the interior now. I did the dining room twice too because that's what I got up to before I realized that I wanted to re-record it. So the dining room, I'm unsure if it is functional. I have to play test like to see if Sims can move around the house correctly. Um, I'm a little worried about the dining room table because there's not a lot of space around it, but I did learn that Sims use like half a tile to get around. I just always forget to turn the grid on because the grid is too distracting for me to build with. It's just like if I have it on, that's all I'm staring at, and I can't tell what items look like. I don't know why, but that's just how it is for me. Um So yeah, I'll play test it. As always, my builds, I can't guarantee that every item will be functional. I can guarantee that most of the like necessary items will be functional though. But you know, odds are a sim is gonna get stuck in the corner where like the window and the chair is. That's just how the sims work. They always decide to make it so complicated for like how the Sims move out of things, which is just part of the game, I guess. I like the little entryway. I used a lot of Horse Ranch, which one of my favorite packs now. I'm really happy that it's in the game. It's like changed up how I build. It's given me like a lot of new go-to items. So my new go-to items from that pack is that sink that I use in the bathroom. The chair with the floral sheet over it. There is also a flower vase that I use that's also by the door. There's the dining room table chairs that I also constantly am using now, and I mix those with my like old go-tos, which was the cats and dog chairs. And they go together so well. I just really love that pack. And the new stuff pack was announced too. I'm unsure if I'm gonna get it right away. It looks like a lot of fun for gameplay, and I think that like that style of kitchen cabinets has been like really needed in the game. So I'm happy for everyone who's like builds like in that style because the counter options have not been the greatest. Um, so yeah, I might get it, I might not get it. Um, well, I'll probably get it like on sale, like definitely, but if I'm gonna get it on release, it depends on if I'm gonna use it for gameplay right away. If I think that I might want to use it for gameplay, then I will. So we'll have to see though. There are some cute clutter items in it too. I'm really excited to like see the breakdown of items in the pack and stuff. So yeah, I'll definitely see. This living room though, not my favorite that I've done. I've been struggling with living rooms. I feel like that's like it's like an odd thing to struggle with. I feel like it's like the main part of the house. But yeah, I just wasn't I just didn't know what to do. I do like the bookcase area that goes up the entire wall. I do end up coming back down here at the end of the video and I add some shelves around because I realized that I was making a witchy build and there is only one witchy item in it so far, and that is the crystal ball that's on the dining room table, and that was it. And so I realized that after I kind of finished decorating this upstairs area, and once I finished it, I was like, yeah, like this will be cute for like a witchy family who have kids and stuff. It's very cute. And then I would realize I was like, I didn't make a cauldron room. I feel like that's something that was needed. And then I discovered that I completely forgot about the entire upstairs attic space that was made, that was inside the roof piece and had a tower attached to it. And so I turned that into a little magic room and I'm really happy with it. It's one of my favorite areas of the house. It's just going to be really hard to see and also to take pictures of because it is the top floor and top floors of Sims builds tend to make the camera go super fast and it's really hard to control and take pictures of it. So I'll have to see what I can do about that and just like play around with the camera, make a reel even though I've fallen behind on my reels. I didn't make a reel for my last two builds. Um I wanted to, and that's just something that I need to forgive myself for not doing. I do want to do the Bella Goth like family reel though. And so I'm dedicating time to doing that. Either today or tomorrow, it depends. It's like one of those things that it's so quick and it's not going to take me a lot of time. I just have to start it. Like that's what happened with this build too. I was like, I just need to start it. So I started editing it before I even finished building it. And that was a good move. I think that's something that I'm gonna like start doing from now on is starting to edit while I'm working on the build. So it kind of switches up what I'm doing. But yeah, these are the bedrooms. I didn't talk about the first bedroom that I did, but I really liked that one. It felt like a storage closet where they maybe needed some extra space, and so they made it a bedroom even though there's, like, stacks of stuff everywhere. I kind of had that vibe in my 8 sim family home too, where there was, like, a guest bedroom, but it also had a bunch of storage stuff in it. I don't know, it's just been, like, that's just a fun way to decorate a bedroom, especially if, like, someone downloads this. Like, kind of expect that they'd wanna turn the bedrooms into, like, ones for their specific Sims and what their Sims like and what their style is, and so I don't worry about, too much of how nice the bedrooms look. I did make this one a little art, studio type space. It's very light compared to the rest of the house. The rest of the house is really dark, and that one is just, like, super bright. Um, it's because I was just like, I wanted to use that wallpaper from the Paranormal Stuff pack, and it is one of my favorite wallpapers. All of the wallpapers I used in this build are some of my favorites. They don't use a lot of packs either. A lot of these are just base game. Like, really learned to love the base game, like wood walls and stuff and wallpaper ever since I started doing more pack limited builds. And I think that's what I usually use for most of my builds now, which is good because then it means that there's less super important packs. Like, if you don't own some of the packs, a lot of like, I use a lot of packs for maybe like a couple of items which aren't really necessary. Again, get deleted. But yeah, this is the space that I completely forgot about, and I was thinking, I was like, maybe I don't do anything. But because I realized that I wanted a cauldron in this build and I didn't put one outside like I had kind of originally thought I was gonna do, I decided to make it up here, and I really like this area. I turned it into, like, even just, like, a little storage area too. Like, there's a random mirror up here and just, like, a bunch of stuff scattered around. I use most of, like, the Realm of Magic, potion shelves and stuff, and it's just, like, a cute little magical space, almost just like you wouldn't really know that a witch family lives here unless you go up into the attic. Um, well, that's not true because I added potions to the downstairs. But I feel like if they're like secretly witches, that they would just put away the potions like in the fridge or something, and they're like, yeah, like we're having company over. Let's just put the potions away and like keep our secret. No one's gonna go up into the attic. Like there's spider webs up there. No one wants to see that. So it's kind of like that vibe, I think, for this one. I'm definitely gonna have a build video soon that is very magical, and there is no secret witch. It's just like the person that lives there is a witch, and that's that. And like you walk into the door, and there's a giant cauldron right in the entryway. Like I literally just started that build today, but that won't be out until a month. So, but yeah, that's the whole video. I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.